What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, we have some early sales numbers to talk about for Hogwarts Legacy. Now, these are going to kind of come in waves, at least I think, and this is normally what happens. The UK is probably, and always has been, at least as long as I've been tracking it, the best place to look for these kind of sales. I do think Avalanche, as I've said before, I think they will announce stuff. Maybe they wait for 5 million, maybe they wait for 10 million. I think they could have already reached 5. To be flat out honest with you, this game has sold pretty much exactly what I thought, but I would argue even more. And I think what we're about to talk about is a good indicator. So a couple of these headlines that are going around, but they're true statements about Hogwarts Legacy, okay? It's the biggest Harry Potter game launch of all time. So that's quite impressive. And it destroys, I think, Philosopher's Stone or Sorcerer's Stone. That was the highest one. So for some reason, that's held it for this entire time. Hogwarts already has a pretty sizable jump over it, and it doesn't even count digital sales yet. Actually, one thing that it seems to be looking like is this game sold really well physically too, right? A lot of people more digital than physical nowadays, but so far, this game has sold really well physically. So a couple other stats. Again, these are all in the UK, by the way. This is not the world. I think you can kind of reflect it for the world, at least most parts of the world, but it's actually outselling Elden Ring at the same time by a sizable 80% more. That is ginormous. I mean, it is insane how much bigger that actually is. And I didn't think that. Literally, go back to yesterday's video. I was saying Elden Ring is the comparable. I actually think I said in the video that I don't think Hogwarts Legacy will reach. I think Elden Ring is maybe just a little bit bigger than it. Well, absolutely not. And I know it's just kind of one set of data. So yes, Elden Ring could still be bigger than it. But if you look at Elden Ring, right, 16, 17, 18 million units, let's say, in the first, 10 months. I think Hogwarts can do 20 million in the first year. I think that's pretty doable. I think with the Switch, right? The Switch, I mean, I'm not going to do it. I'm very interested to see how it runs on Switch, but I think that's an easy 2 million right there that, I mean, you just kind of add on. It doesn't even have to be good. It doesn't even have to run well. People are going to buy it on the Switch. We also have the stat of 82% of the sales were on PS5. The other 18% were on Xbox Series S and X. That's pretty normal. Again, we see these are the big headlines, right? Normally, that kind of happens. PlayStation 10s, people just buy the games more on PlayStation than Xbox. Seems like some of the bigger games get a big, about 80-20, 70-30 kind of split. And this all comes from Game Industry Biz, and they go on to talk about they believe it's going to stay on the charts for a very long time, considering you also have the PS4 and Xbox One, that's a good point. There's not too much competition in terms of other big games. I'm really excited for Atomic Heart. I don't think that's going to make too much of an impact on Hogwarts Legacy. And really, Wolong Fallen Dynasty, I mean, I don't think that does much either. Resident Evil is really going to be, I think, the first one, and that's in a month that I think would challenge and would probably be number one on the charts. But then, a week and a half later is Hogwarts again on PS4 and Xbox One. So, you have all that. Now, again, those aren't numbers, right? Those are more statistics, and that's why it's kind of tough to judge. And it's only the UK, and it's only physical copies sold. But you got to imagine you reflect it. If so many people are buying it physically, I think the digital sales are going to do outrageous. Again, you look at the Steam stuff, the Steam charts, almost getting 900,000 concurrent just at the same time, these players yesterday, which is nuts. And we already talked about that kind of comparison. Now, that's a little bit below Elden Ring, right? But the question is, this is going to end up being on more platforms, right? Because you have the Switch. Also, it's just more people going to buy this game on consoles than people bought Elden Ring. Was Elden Ring more of a PC game? I mean, I don't necessarily think so, but it's going to be things to track. Like I said, a couple things. I really do believe this game probably has reached 5 million. And again, I've said this before. This is not kissing up. This is not stating that the game is perfect or anything, or that you need to buy it. All the things I've said about this game are still true, right? Make your own decisions. If you don't think the game is perfect, that's totally fine. If you think the game is perfect, that's fine. This is just saying, again, and it's not even going into the boycott world. This is just this game is doing outrageously well. And it is funny because I have talked about that Elden Ring comparison for quite a while, that was the game that I was looking at. And it's possible if we start to see early on that Hogwarts is outselling it, I mean, again, like Elden Ring, probably going to settle at, I mean, I think Elden Ring will probably do well over time, but say Elden Ring's at about 20 million now. I think, and that's about a year after the game came out, I think Hogwarts could easily, again, Switch alone, I think Hogwarts can do it. And that would be outrageous because it's like you're entering this, we talked about these kind of elite upper level dogs like a Red Dead or a GTA. Now, there's some of them that you'll never reach, right? You'll never reach Red Dead. You'll never reach GTA. They're just on like a different plane of existence. Call of Duty, even say Pokemon or even like Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. There's some just elite players out there. But there's a tier right below it. And once you start like banging on the door, it's actually insane that you can even do that. And those are the games like, I would say maybe even Cyberpunk. And then you got Elden Ring of last year. And I would say Hogwarts makes it as well. So we'll see how it does over the next couple of weeks. We'll see how it does compared to like Zelda, because I do think Zelda is going to be outrageous, Spider-Man, all that good stuff, okay? Now, I'll keep the updates coming if I see any more sales. Thank you all for watching. I really do appreciate it. Let me know what you think in the comments. Make sure you're subscribed, bell icon turned on, and I'll see you all on the next one.